Well, the Rebel road trip continues along, and on the Darling Downs and Southern Downs, there's so many great places to see. Glengallan Homestead and Heritage Centre. This is definitely worth a stop. Now, I grew up here as a little lad, and my Uncle Jerry took me to Glengallan in about 1975, and the whole place was absolutely dilapidated. They have now done a complete renovation with inside this homestead, and I'm about to show you why you need to make it part of your road trip across the Darling Downs and Southern Downs. Take the Rebel road trip and come out to the Darling Downs and Southern Downs and stop at Glengallan Homestead and meet Jono, who is the general manager. This is such a beautiful part of the world.
It is, and I think you've come at the best time too. After all of the rain, it's very beautiful and green. Everything's flourishing.
My family are from the Darling Downs, from the Warwick region. My grandma had a property called Laurel Hill at Swan Creek, and my Uncle Jerry and Auntie Moya had a farm at Junaby. And Uncle Jerry brought me out here in about 1975, and that homestead was absolutely rack and ruin, and they've put a lot of work into bringing this back, and she's looking beautiful.
It's sat as a vacant house for about 60 years.
Yep.
There's heaps of stories of kids coming out here and teenagers having parties and seances and graffiti all over the walls.
Yep.
So it's got an interesting history. I've heard stories of cows upstairs and sheep downstairs.
Yes.
And basically it just wasted away almost to nothing by the early 90s.
100%. And when I came through in 1975, there were cow bodies in that lounge room and dining area. The stairwell had come away from the wall. You couldn't get upstairs. That was all gone. But I noticed walking through, there's a mummified cat.
There is.
What's the story with the mummified cat?
When they were digging up the floorboards in about 2001, they discovered a cat in a tomb.
Yes.
Underneath the floorboards, and that sort of weren't really sure what to do with it or what to make of that until a visitor from England came over and wrote back and said they found the same thing in a pub here in England.
Yes.
And it dates back to an old East Anglian custom, I guess, where they used to bury a live cat underneath the floorboards near the hearth, near the fire, to ward off witches, warlocks and fire.
There you go.
And it's worked.
Oh, absolutely.
No witches or warlocks.
And I think what's really nice with this, though, is that when you're going down the New England between Toowoomba and Warwick, or around about 10 minutes just to the north, I guess, of where Warwick is, you've got your cafe here, which is absolutely beautiful, great spot to stop. And as you walk through the gardens and everything, and this is the one thing I really like about this, is that history kind of speaks to you. You can hear the kids running around in the gardens. It's got that kind of uniqueness to it.
When I go through the house in the afternoon to close it up, I imagine you can almost hear the family and the hustle and bustle.
100%.
Servants going hither and from, and I mean, this would have been a very, very busy station back in the 1850s onwards.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is an absolutely beautiful part of the world, open from Wednesday to Sunday from 10 till 4. You have to make it part of your road trip. You'll be glad you stopped here. You'll be glad that you've tried the cafe as well. So make it part of your road trip.